Hello and welcome! NerdDragon88 here. As we continue on with our crusade. We of course have our cast of players. Metgath.
Hello.
On my other side, there's Wolf. And
now you do your high.
And then Razor.
Candy corn.
It's gonna be a pleasant evening.
So when we left off last week, you
Well,
guys...
I got a 3.5 pound of candy corn sitting in my lap. Leave me alone.
When we left off last week, you guys finished fighting off the gnolls.
Yay.
And a bunch of them ran away, or I think 4 of them managed to run away. The rest of them you guys kind of got as they were trying to run away. Because it was 6 of them that tried to run.
Mm-hmm. I remember I was charging them as they were trying to get away.
Yeah. And
then running around and resuscitating them after the battle.
yeah.
Or stabilizing anyway.
So there was some stabilizing of them. There was also some straight up killing of some of them that were unconscious. A bunch of them bled out to death, because that happens a lot. And then you guys were preparing to set out on the road once more to go down the road to the fort. Which reminds me, I should bring up my Google Doc on my phone. I completely forgot that I had the resource of my phone last time.
The silent clap for you, my friend.
Yeah. So, down here, you guys are headed to Fort Hursk.
And I'm gonna get up and walk over to the elf.
That'd be you, Wolf.
So, yep. And how far are we from the forest?
From the fort? You guys are like a...
Forest.
Oh, forest. Not... Okay, you guys are a decent travel away from a forest, but that forest did not have elves in it.
Yeah.
Huh.
Okay.
Actually,
Oh,
yeah, we
may
have
I
a
help
new token for Sage. Ta-da!
So yeah, while his companions are cleaning up the battlefield, I turn around and walk toward him. After summoning 2 more creatures.
Which was another giant boar and a goat, for those of you who missed last week.
Yep, I've got a goat.
Or those who decided to skip the video because it was all combat.
So, how may I help you, sir?
What's your name?
Sage is my name, if you must kindly know.
Did you have any other people with you? This is an awfully dangerous area to be walking around alone.
I have not been with any other company. Chased in by gnolls by my forest. Or my home, really.
Oh, wow. I'm not confused. Anyways, I'll walk over to him. I was trying to figure out why I was talking to myself for the last 10 minutes.
Oh,
I will walk over as I notice Metgath is talking to the elf, and I'll start cleaning the blood off of my weapon and start sharpening it, making sure it's all tip-top shape while I'm listening.
So how far have you traveled to get here?
Depends. I really don't take note. Traveling's just one giant walk.
How do you feel about excitement in your life?
The good amount of excitement I just saw recently, and how you brutally just killed the Null there. I'm probably gonna be... Anything else you wish to ask me?
We're on our way to the local fort. You can come with us if you want. We're trying to figure out what's going on down here and trying to figure out where trying to track where the dragon went that was terrorizing the local dwarven kingdom.
Oh, you mean that big black shadow I saw flying over my forest? I saw it, but I couldn't track it. So I guess I could have joined your journey.
But yeah, there's going to be a dwarven army headed down this way in a little while, but I want to find out what's going on at the fort. So that's where we're headed right now.
Goody dwarves. Anywho.
And with that comment, I go, excuse me, I'm a dwarf. I take offense to that. What's wrong with us dwarves? It's your elves that we have to worry about.
Oh, no, you're fine. It's just, I've had bad experiences with dwarves before.
Well, the last time I
Especially
saw
when they
elves were very, how should I put this? Horny.
Yeah, sorry, we like to keep our pride.
Well, the last time I checked, the damn elf went and screwed my great-grandmother.
Nothing to do with that.
That's why I always keep my eye on an elf. They don't like, how should I always put this? They don't like to keep it in the pants sometimes.
You shame me, sir. You shame me a lot. Now, can we carry on with this? Because this is getting really awkward. Oh.
I'd say, okay. I just turn around and I walk over and I collect up my goat and the boar and I start walking down the road. Not much for words right now. I'm just like, okay. Goat on one side, boar on the other, walking down the road.
How is he physically possible to do that? That has to be more than twice his body weight.
I'm not picking them up. I'm guiding them. I mean, the boar's big enough. The boar's big enough. I could even ride it.
Basically, like so. Or like so.
Yeah.
Thank you for saving me from the gnolls.
And I'll look at this elf and I go, and your name is what again? I'm talking to you, Wolf.
Sage. My
Well,
name is Sage.
Until I trust you, you're walking. And with that, I'll turn and walk and saddle up my wagon and start taking off.
Follow along, jogging.
Well, he's not going to go much beyond a walking pace anyway, because my character's walking. And I'm already in front of the cart.
Since I'm light enough, I just hop onto the boar's back and just ride him like a surfboard.
Then the question is whether or not the boar even decides to tolerate that.
I don't know. I'm very... Well, I don't know.
Alright, so is the boar and the goat going ahead of the cart or behind the cart?
Let's be in front of the cart. And we've got two other characters sitting in the cart. They can be watching out behind us. They may not do anything in the next battle, but they can at least watch.
Okay, and how far ahead of the cart do you want to be? 5, 10, 15 feet? 30 feet? 200 feet?
Go with 15. Close enough so we can quickly assist if need be.
Something like that. And Sage, I believe there's actually a skill for this. Roll me... Persuasion. So you just have to click on the name Persuasion, which is under your skills. Or which is in your skills. Which is under your saving throws.
Persuasion. Where the bloody is this? I can't find it.
Okay, so you have your sheet open, right?
Oh yeah, I found it.
Okay, so 11. So the boar will tolerate you.
Barely.
Barely.
Well, he'll tolerate you as long as he's not given an order to stop tolerating you. Okay. Okay. So I'm also opening up some books because I also have some data entry stuff I need to do on some of these characters still. So, you guys will be continuing along. And thankfully enough for you guys, there is not going to be any more combat encounters along the way. However, you guys will come across a... Okay, well, at least it shouldn't be any combat encounters. And it looks like I lost people. We'll return shortly. And we're back! At least, mostly.
Welcome back. Mostly.
And about the time probably about the time that your internet crapped out, we noticed Celeste is online.
Oh.
Supposedly.
Well, then somebody can try talking her into here.
Okay.
Possibly our eavesdropper.
Alrighty.
Oh, he answers to that. Okay, I see how it is. Wow, I definitely don't feel that now.
Well, it's
He also thought that we were recording at the time. Probably hadn't realized that Nerd had dropped out, so he was still muted. Not
No,
wanting
he
to.
wasn't muted.
He's on push to talk.
Correctamundo.
No, I like my story better. I'm just not welled up.
Okay.
Didn't even fight it. Wow.
I don't have the energy to, I'm sorry.
I
Okay.
put out the energy to talk. I don't even want to be on right now, and yet I'm sitting here talking. So, blar.
Refreshing the page. That is not the right page. Technical difficulties.
Sorry, folks. We're experiencing phone calls.
Loud phone.
Oh, God, okay. Thank goodness. Here we go. Did those changes actually happen? Yes, good. Okay. So, we're back. We might be getting Celeste soon. Okay. I've also been doing a little bit of data entry for sheets here. Okay. So, Denolt's bear should be basically done.
My what?
Your, sheet. Your bear sheet.
Oh, okay.
All of your bear info should be put in.
That is one of the simplest of my sheets to do.
Yep. Okay. I also still need to do your giant spider sheet.
Yeah.
I should also probably do a normal spider sheet for you too, for in case you want to do something tiny.
Hmm. Just kind of look at the party. I'm gonna go scouting. What? Poof, gone.
Yeah, instead I could do something like a wasp.
Hey, nerd, I still need to get the Ranger's Companion.
You do. And I forgot that I need to put that in here. So, character sheet.
However, the one thing though is that I believe I only get 3 forms at this point.
No, I was limiting you to 3 forms because that way I keep down the number of sheets. Otherwise, I'd have to put down 1 for every single animal in the book.
Okay, you were limiting me. The game wasn't.
Yep. Which means if you wanted to have some other form for, scouting or whatever, that's fine. I can pull up the stats for that as a temporary thing, but I don't expect you to go into combat as like a mouse or a spider or a viper.
I turn into a mouse. I crawl into the giant's ear. I eat its ear. I draw him out, and I crawl into its brain.
Okay.
That's the only use I could see of that actually being useful.
Okay, so the limitation is no larger than a medium creature and has a challenge rating of 1/4 or lower.
What?
For the animal companion.
Oh, okay. This is you, Wolf.
Yep.
Sorry, I missed that. What?
Okay, so
I missed that. What?
your animal companion. It has limitations.
Oh.
It cannot be larger than medium size.
Okay.
And it has to be a challenge rating of 1/4 or lower.
It has to have what?
A challenge rating of 1/4 or lower.
It'd go up like the sun, wouldn't it?
So that means that there are certain animals that you can't do, such as the crocodile, which is 1/2. It would also stop you from getting things like the draft horse or the giant boar. I believe before we were talking about a hawk? Or an eagle?
2 animal choices. Well, 3 actually. Lynx,
What was that?
ocelot, an ocelot, hawk.
Okay, so we have stuff for hawk. That is... challenge rating 0 for the eagle.
Concept picture for the lynx and what they look like.
I'm looking through the book to see if they have something like a lynx that I could at least steal the stats from.
And
Not the jackal. Because there's hawk, which is also challenge rating 0, so both of those are viable options.
here's an ocelot.
I keep missing what that first one is. You might keep doing something weird with it.
Ocelot, hawk.
Yeah, so ocelot and hawk are the 2 that I've been getting.
The ocelot's the first picture, and the lynx is the second picture.
Oh, okay, so ocelot and lynx. Okay. So...
Go for the ocelot. Malkiri. Let's see, how big are an ocelot?
They have owl and panther.
And ocelot, the ocelot is a wild cat native to the Americas. It is found extensively in Central and South America, Mexico and the islands, Trinidad and Margarita.
Yeah, I'm familiar with ocelots.
It's
It's a matter of being able to actually hear what you were saying, sir.
Which has a mass of 18 to 44 labels and a length of 2.2 to 3.3 feet. Well, I stay in the regular boundaries, so I think I might go with an ocelot. Will that work?
If I can find stats, which is what I'm currently looking for.
Yeah. So each time you mention a creature that isn't in the monster manual, he has to go looking for a creature that would match it stat-wise.
They have house cat.
Well,
What we're looking
isn't
for.
an ocelot just a wild house cat?
They're bigger than a house cat. Substantially so.
Well, this is probably just a feral giant house cat. go for Eurasian lynx, which is 40 to 66 labeled and to 1.8 to 2.5 feet.
Okay. So we might have to go lynx, which is slightly bigger than the ocelot, because that
Alright.
would at least fit the same category as panther. So that, or we could go the route of hawk eagle stuff.
So either lynx or hawk or eagle.
Yeah.
I guess I'll go for the lynx.
Alright. So, I'm probably going to have to edit this a little bit, but oh well. So, you guys are going to be headed out, and for the time being, I'm going to just...
It's not here, is it? Is this that new one?
Just going to throw that on the field for right now. It's not going to be the permanent picture, I promise you that. Alright, so... you guys are headed down south, and as you guys are headed down the road, you guys actually are going to come across a traveler headed northward.
Ah. And what race is this traveler?
It is a small okay, it's a halfling, which means that they're automatically small, but it is a halfling male with a wagon that seems to be more machinery than living space. Because it's got like a big copper boiler on it. And it's being pulled by a pair of ponies.
Are they dwarf ponies?
No, they're just normal ponies. They're basically a miniature version of a Clydesdale. So they're more horses, only small.
Am I taking up the entire road still?
Probably.
Figuratively, yes.
Yes.
Okay. We're gonna move. I'm gonna move off this to this. Does our wagon take up the entire road?
It is a pretty big wagon.
I believe
Okay.
so.
So you guys can kind of bring it off to the side a little bit more.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be like, hey. As he's approaching us, I'm gonna wave to him. Mind if I ask you a question?
You can ask me several, and he'll actually, pull things to a stop.
Did you by any chance stop by the fort that's to the south?
Yeah, real crazy stuff going on down there. I chose to skedaddle.
What did you see? I was heading in that direction to see what's going on at the fort.
A lot of dead people.
That's not very specific, sir.
Okay, to keep it short and somewhat to the point, there was a lot of dead bodies. There was a mass grave being set up. And a bunch of people are fleeing to the south.
It's causing this consumption or problem.
And who was setting up the mass grave? Do you know what species they were?
Looked like the people working at the fort, so mostly dwarves. There was a couple half-elves in there. Or I should say short half-elves. I mean,
At
they were
least
obviously
the
taller
dwarf-
than me, but so is the rest of the world.
Okay. Well, that at least is some good news. At least the dwarves are still around down there.
But
Some form of elf.
I do hear that there's some profit to be made up north, especially up at the capital city still.
If you can get through to the capital city, we just fought a band of gnomes.
Gnomes?
How? I say sorry, not gnomes. Gnolls. We just fought a band of gnolls.
Oh, duh, you saved me from them.
I look at the elf, and I'm like, well, of course we saved you from them, but he doesn't know that.
True.
Um,
I guess we'll keep silent.
Well, at least you guys are doing a patrol. I mean, from what I hear, that there's just so much trouble. The guards haven't been able to keep up the regular patrols because they're off trying to deal with all these bandit issues.
On the other hand, though, the army is on its way down here. The army from the city to the north. The king has finally sent his army south
That's
to
good.
try to get things under control. Yeah.
Thunder.
That's part of what we're doing here. We're trying to figure out what's going on so we can assist the army when it arrives.
Alright, well, maybe I'll meet up with them and sell some of my goods. Speaking of which, you guys don't happen to have money,
okay.
do you?
Let's say,
I'm not entirely sure.
what
Hang on,
what
I'll
type
check.
of goods do you sell?
I mostly sell various magical brews.
Okay.
Whether it be more mundane alcoholic brews, or if it's, potions.
I quickly dig out of my boot, trying to shake loose some coins.
In fact, I even have an assistant in the cart there.
You do?
Yeah, you want to meet him? Do you?
Nerd, your mic is completely... barely heard that.
Ah, damn it. Alright.
Now we can hear you.
Okay, how about now?
At least static. Oh, much better.
Yep.
Yeah, I just turned up the gain substantially on my mic. Hopefully I don't end up blasting anyone's ears out who ends up watching this after the fact.
Alright, as you said.
Yeah, I have an assistant back. Do you want to meet him? I can bring him out.
Sure. I would like to meet your assistant.
Hey, Fred! Some people here want to meet you! And out will come this very strange kind of mostly dark but somewhat transparent humanoid figure with, like, bat-type wings on its back and horns coming out of his head that look a bit like drinking horns. In fact, you think you see the leather straps for the drinking horns.
I study it to see if it is a draconic way.
It is not of draconic origin. Draconics, you can't see, like, partly through them. And he seems to, like, have fizzing underneath the surface a little bit. Orsic, you having brought your cart substantially closer, you are also seeing this, you'd want to say demon? But it looks like it's made out of booze.
Sir Halfling.
I keep my hand ready to strike, but I'm just gonna give him a white burst.
Halfling, sir. Exactly is Fred's origins?
I don't remember all the details. It had something to do with magic and booze and some stuff happening that went awry. I think there was some rye involved in there. Yeah. Oh, by the way, my name's Tom. Tom Brewsmith. Tom... Ow. Tom Brewsmith is my name. People are able to hear me okay, yeah?
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, a bunch of magic stuff happened, though.
Okay, I'm back. As I was saying, is Fred son a golem of some sorts?
Okay, I did manage to make out what you were trying to say. It did not come out very clearly, though. Which was that you were asking as to whether Fred was a golem of some sort. Okay. So, I guess you could kind of say he's like a golem. I mean, he's a demon, well, devil technically, I suppose, of booze. Kinda. He's a devil made from booze. Yo, bro! What's up?
Elf is completely confused at the matter, so he just goes silent.
Do you guys want to hang out with us and maybe go to a kegger?
I just link.
Did he just invite us to a kegger?
Yes.
The hell's a kegger?
I'm just.
A kegger is a party in which there's lots of beer, generally in kegs, which is a form of beer barrel. Put more information about kegs in the comments down below.
Yeah. I go, no, we're on our way south to go get in, to see what's going on at the fort, possibly get into some combat. So, it'd be best to be sober for that.
Alright.
But if I see you guys later on, sure.
People aren't full of arrows or black marks.
Hey, Tommy, I have we've got 6 barrels too much of the Irish stuff. The older one stuff or the new stuff?
It's just like you're trying to speak through 3 different Google Translates at the exact same time.
Yeah, things are getting rather distorted.
Yeah.
Or at least with Wolf. I can hear Metgath just fine, though.
I'm hearing you guys distorted.
Mm. Alright, I'll try to fix the issues right after I finish up these lines, and then I might reiterate them. Alright, the old stuff or the new stuff? The old stuff. At which point he will turn to the dwarf and elf and kind of glance at the cart which is currently passing you guys. So you guys wouldn't happen to want some whiskey that happens to make you see things, would you?
How much?
Well, I need to get rid of it fast, so I suppose I could let it go for 10 gold a barrel?
How much did you say?
10 gold per barrel.
10 gold per barrel?
Yeah.
I'll go, I'll give it a try, and I'll pull out a platinum piece.
Okay.
Since 1 platinum equals 10 gold.
Yep. Which you'll either have to strap the barrel to your giant boar, or you'll have to somehow get onto the cart which is going ahead of you.
Strap it to the boar for now, and until we can catch up with the cart.
Okay.
And with that, I said we should probably be going. It looks like our other companions have no intention of waiting for us.
Alright, well, be safe.
Yep. You too. Oh, and I tell them about the town that's a little ways ahead where all the other merchants stopped. I tell them how far it is to that town.
Okay.
Make some good cash with her wealth with the amount of. I wonder what happens if the dwarfs out we bought whiskey.
I bought whiskey that will make us see things.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Maybe after we've found out what's going on with the fortress. But right now, we need to catch up to that dwarf.
Yeah, that's what I said. I'm going to strap it to my boar and then try to catch up to the cart. Or
Oh, then
wagon,
yeah,
whatever.
then.
Okay, so you guys will continue onward, and Tom will head off in his own direction.
Yep. And once I catch up with it, I'm going to see if I can get him to stop long enough for me to load it into the cart.
Orsic, they want to add a barrel to your cart.
I raise an eyebrow. I don't know where the hell that's been. How do I know it's not going to contaminate the good shit?
Because it's in its own container.
Yes, but the container, I don't know where it's been.
A dwarf. I did not expect you to question.
I am a brewmaster. I take pride in my brew, damn it.
I point at all the random stuff he looted off the knolls, and I say, "You're not worried about that stuff, but you're worried about this."
That stuff is not in my cart. It's strapped to the outside. There's a difference.
Lord.
I thought you put it inside the cart. Because there's nothing to strap it to on the outside.
I thought that's what you said last time.
Because it's a big armored...
Put in the cart.
Yeah, you didn't say... You said to put it in the cart, not on the cart, because the outside of the cart is big armor plating, not a bunch of hooks.
I just find logic in the most pointless of things.
So anyway, if you're so paranoid about a sealed barrel contaminating your sealed barrels, I'll leave it on the creature. But I spent 10 gold on this. I don't want it damaged in combat.
Well, I'll just say this much: if it contaminates my booze, you pay for the whole batch.
I say it's not going to contaminate your booze.
Hey, just use this. I tossed an old ragged cloth to him. Wrap the barrel in that, and it'll be fine. And then
Okay.
Anyway,
I'm gonna take a moment.
I loaded.
Yeah, so you're gonna load
Yeah.
that up, and I'm gonna take a moment to try to fix some technical difficulties.
Okay.
Alright, I should be back now.
much better.
Okay.
This is gonna be some interesting footage. English.
Yeah. As well as seeing my terrible spelling.
Yeah. Carry on. And not Dwarf and his Celeste brews.
Okay. Okay. So.
Mm-hmm. Oh, how big is the barrel I bought?
It's a pretty big barrel. Probably 15 gallons. So you got it for like
Okay.
a complete and utter steal. It was an older batch of stuff that he was needing to get rid of because of its qualities.
Genetic gender.
So
Because it what?
because of its various properties. That's already giving you too much
Such as the
information.
Yeah.
To get going. The fortress.
The fort, yes. Okay. Both of those are now done. So, So, you guys will be strolling on into town. Rather, into the fort itself. Well, okay, not really into the fort, because you guys are coming up to the gates.
Approaching it cautiously.
Yeah, it's a big fort. Its outside perimeter is stone reinforced wood. That is to say, it's got a lot of stone at its base, but the majority of it is in fact wood for its walls, because it's a cheap, ready resource in the area. Unlike there's not a lot of stone in the area. And it looks like it's made out of the same kind of stone as was used for the road.
Okay.
For the base part of things, but that only goes up about 10 feet or so, and there's like another 30 feet, about another 30 feet of wood wall that is made out of rather large logs. And it looks like they've had something poured over their outside. You're not entirely certain what was poured on their outside, but something was poured on their outside. And it seems to make it very soggy, but also kind of waxy, almost.
Mm-hmm.
So, whatever that stuff is. And the gate is actually closed. And the rather, I should say, the first gate is closed. In order to get to this fort, which is kind of on top of a steep sloped hill, you have to go through one gate, cross a bridge, go through another gate, and then you get into the fort itself.
Okay.
Going into the fort, then.
Yeah.
What
And there's
here.
Yeah, there's a pair of half-orcs on the outside of the gate, down at the ground level. And then what appears to be, if you had to guess, it would be anywhere from like 4 to 10 dwarves up at the top. Several of which have slightly turreted ballistae up there that are kind of aimed down at the road. And several others have just heavy crossbows.
Okay.
The half-orcs and try to converse with them with their own tongue. The native tongue of theirs.
Do the dwarves say anything to us before we reach it?
No, they don't. They just kind of look and stare at you guys. And one of them seems to turn and, like, it looks like he's conversing with somebody behind him, but you can't hear it.
Mm-hmm.
As you start getting within, like, 40 feet of the gate, the half-orcs, which were kind of in a semi-relaxed but alertive state, they were kind of just leaned up against the gate while keeping a sharp eye looking around, will get into tensed, battle-ready positions with their halberds.
I off the boar that I was currently riding over to the half-orcs. I calmly asked them in a polite manner, in their own language.
So you, in a polite manner, do what?
If they could please let us in.
Okay, so you're asking him to let you in.
Their
Well,
own
as I'm
native
riding
tongue.
up to the front gate where the orcs are, I will
They're
let
technically half-orcs.
a half orc. Sorry, I will let the king's mark shine brightly across my forehead. I say, I have business inside the fort. I also have brought fresh booze from the steel malls to sell.
The orcs will look over at you and... Alright, yeah, we can let you in. Just be careful. And there's a curfew, and if you're caught outside past curfew, you will either be arrested or offensive action will be taken against you. Rather aggressive offensive action.
May I ask why? Kind orcs.
Well, to put it rather bluntly, we've had some problems after dark. Bad stuff's been going on, and we need people in their beds to make sure that everyone's safe, as opposed to everyone wandering around, because it's harder to keep track of them that way.
I say that's actually part of the reason why we're here. We're investigating what's been going on down here.
We could be of assistance.
trying to figure out what how we can help before the king's army arrives.
Are you working for the Hammer God back there? Pointing at Orsic.
I say, yes, we are part of the same party. We are companions.
I'm just
And
along
Medgat,
the trip.
you'll notice that the King's Mark shining in my head. So
And I just kind of look at
Along with the
Orsic and I say, one of these days you're going to flash someone that doesn't like the king. You know that, right?
Yes, I understand that. But I look at it this way. This is the King's fort. If they don't like the King's Mark at this fort, then we have problems. Serious problems.
As long as the king keeps people safe, people like the king. Anyways, we got Hammer God!
The elf just... I can watch. Oh, this is gonna end well.
And the dwarves up top are going to open up that first gate.
I casually walk in and comment on the orcs, both the half-orcs' muscles, because they preferred to have them complimented. Have nice strength. I hope you keep us safe. Have a nice day.
You too.
And I say, where would I go to speak with the people in charge of this fort?
Inside.
Or someone that could have... Okay.
Yeah, so
What did he say?
he said
Deep
inside. Inside.
Oh, okay.
So the first set of gates open, and a portcullis raises that's behind the gate.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, you hear the portcullis raise, and then the gates open. The portcullis seems to be basically being used like a bracing bar for these gates. And you guys will enter into this area, this room that's, it's like the width of the road was before, or the width of the road as it was leading up to here. It's not super narrow, so it's like a good, like 30 feet, no, like 25 feet across. And then it's about 20 feet long. And
Okay.
there's another portcullis on the other side. And which they will raise after closing those, or reclosing those gates and bringing down that one portcullis behind you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Spectacle of the dwarven engineering is taking place in this fort. If indeed it is dwarven.
Well, no shit, it's a dwarven city. Look, a dwarven fort, of course it's gonna have its fortifications. It ain't a dwarven fort without having a mighty wall.
I have to admit, you dwarves do make crazy contraptions that do end up being very helpful.
Aye? Even our little wood forts are better than the human forts. I'll have to do the same myself.
And I look over at the elf and I say, I take offense to that. We're not the ones that build the crazy contraptions. That's the gnomes.
Oh yeah, you're correct. Giant metal golems, I believe? Or if I'm
We just take what the gnomes do and we make it better. We make it where it won't blow up in your face.
That reminds me of one time my family, or one of my friends in the elf village, decided to take a goblin bomb and try to blow up a mine with it.
So I'm looking at I go out the other side when it opens.
Yeah, so the other portcullis will raise, and you'll notice that on the other side of the other portcullis is where the stairs up to the upper area is. To where you have access to all the stuff for the gates and the portcullises. Which also seem to have a ability to just kind of drop out which seems to be attached to some kind of pulley system that you're thinking goes to higher up. So they can basically isolate themselves up there and control the portcullis and gates from up there.
Okay.
I think this all, even though I know this is a very weak fort compared to most dwarf forts, I'm just smiling at what they have accomplished out of wood.
Yeah. And another thing that you guys would have noted while you guys were in that inner chamber is up above, there was a lot of these, like, hatches, or these, like, cylindrical holes up to hatches. As well as some very narrow slits in the walls.
Yeah.
That has to be painful if that dumps.
Yeah, basically, yeah, it's a setup for a good set of defense with arrow slits and
Murder holes.
Yeah.
Railing or oil.
So.
Yeah, and as you guys finish crossing the bridge and crossing the drawbridge, you guys seeing the other gate and the fact that, or the other set of gates, I should say, which is again two gates or is a gate and two portcullises. Well, it's actually two gates and two portcullises at the inner bit there. And you guys will be entering the fort. Something that you guys will probably be noticing is that the first area that you guys enter into is it's set up as a kill box. There are fortified positions all the way around it that are lower than the walls, specifically set up to be able to take on anything that's coming through that gate. There's a few people kind of hanging around near the gate. They all seem to be mostly hanging out inside the second gate, however. Inside the second wall. This fort has been set up with 3 sets of walls. So there's the outer gatehouse that you guys first came across, the bridge, outer wall, inner wall, and then the innermost wall.
Okay.
Dwarves, you are very overkill.
I'm just seeing this all, and my character is just beaming from ear to ear at the fortifications.
Yeah, and of course the main structure in the middle as well as the innermost wall are made out of what appears to be one just large single piece of stone. That is perfectly smooth with no tool marks.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, inside the second wall is where you'll be finding the majority of people. There's still quite a few merchants here, but there also seems to be quite a few people from the countryside around hiding in here. Looks like there's at least 2 towns worth of people here.
I look over at Gath and I go, I think it's time for us to go find out what the hell's going on. What do you think? I think it's time for us to figure out what's going on so we smash some skulls. You in?
Sure.
And I'll be fine.
Let's find somewhere to park your wagon first. Somewhere where we know it'll be safe.
Aye. And that way my assistant can at least set it up and start selling some booze to these lovely customers.
Mm-hmm.
You two do that. I'm gonna go explore what I can.
So we'll find a spot for his assistant to start setting up, and then we'll head off to go speak with the commander of this fort.
Okay. So, taking a bit. Adjusting some music sounds real quick. There we go. So, you guys kind of are going through town a little bit, and the atmosphere is very kind of cold and depressed. Like, looking around, you'd say even like all of the colors of everything looks kind of muted in the area. And nobody's actually like selling anything here.
Yeah.
In fact, the only place where you see like any sort of real like social gathering at all is a line which appears to be a soup line, from which the soldiers are giving out these bowls of some kind of gruel type stuff. Probably a mixture of boiled wheat and oats, and probably a bit of meat because it's a good idea, and some vegetables mixed in.
This place looks dreadful.
And no one here is laughing. There's kind of some coughing and whatnot.
I've seen a gloomy place like this before.
I look over my assistant and I go, I think it's time to lighten this place up. What do you think?
I'll do my best.
Oh, with your voice, sweetheart, I know you can do much.
I forgot to change my mode on here. Okay, so that should affect that as well. Okay. So, you guys managed to find a place to kind of set up the wagon for now and drop some stuff off. Wolf, I assume you're going to go and start trying to socialize with the people in general?
Yes. Look around for anybody if they are up for a chatting mood.
Okay.
And then we head off to speak with the with the base commandant or commander.
Yep.
Is there anybody in my local vicinity that is able to talk or...
There seems to be quite a few people that are able to talk, but they're all kind of looking grumpy. You'll have to roll a persuasion check to try to convince anyone to talk.
Which one do I... Okay. Try to talk to one of the grumpy citizens. One do I roll?
Persuasion. You rolled it before.
And that happen. What happens?
Well, you have to roll it again. You rolled one before, but you have to roll a new one because it's a different situation. So you'll find it in your skills again. Alphabetical order. Below performance. Above religion. Nat 20! I think that'll do it.
You okay, sir?
Things have been terrible here. Very, very terrible.
Can you tell me what happened? Try to be calm with the citizen, not to provoke him at all.
People started dying every
From?
night.
You tell me from, or what may have caused this?
Something's been going around to people as they've been sleeping and killing them. I haven't been able to sleep for a full week because of it.
More question, or a few more. The deceased people have a form of mark on their neck or any other region?
I never saw
Faye.
the bodies. I got to see the bodies covered in sheets, but I didn't look at them myself real close. There's just
Possibly
so
Dead.
many dead. And now people are starting to get sick.
who looks at the deceased bodies before burial?
That would be our one priest, who's also our physician. Well, he's the fourth physician. There was another physician who was here, but he died.
I go speak with a physician. Where could I find this physician? First place.
If you go around the bend a bit, you'll find a tent or pavilion thing. It's like a pavilion, but it's got proper walls.
A hut.
Yeah, made out of cloth. And
Alright.
it's got a big old hammer over an anvil on its roof.
Thank you, citizen. Please, try to have sleep and rest. It will help you in the meantime.
My name's Morty.
Hope you get better. I hope me and my companions could find a way to stop this. And peace.
Everyone's been having to flee here because the countryside's just so full of gnolls. They're everywhere. They seem to know where our defenses are.
Yeah. I know. I was lucky that my companion I travel with saved me from them.
So many dead. So much blood and death.
I go to Pet and I hand him the one bronze coin I was able to salvage from my boot.
You mean copper?
The copper coin.
Or do you mean electrum?
For
Okay.
I got it from my boot.
Yeah. Okay. So, next up, we'll be doing the encounter with Razor and Metgath, which are going to be let into the keep of the fort. They're of course going to be escorted. They decide to put 2 guards for each person along, so Kara's probably going to be exploring the town a bit. Lavir's probably going to be with you, though.
And
Okay.
I'll be going to the physician, so I'll wait for the next part, okay?
Okay.
Listen.
So, yeah. So, Razor and Metgath. I'm going to change up the music again. This one? No. I think this is just sound effects. Yeah. Okay, so I don't seem to quite have the proper music out at the moment. Okay. There was something about... not the bazaar. Sorry about this delay from music. This is all public domain stuff, by the way. So, we have that to be happy about.
Yeah.
That should be added to the list. Try that one. Thought I remembered there being something like a festival or something in here.
I'm sure there probably is. Problem's just finding it.
Yep. So, I think this music will work. Turn it down a little. Turn it down a little. Add that to it. Okay. So, you guys are led into this, what appears to be basically an office. Almost seems like a cross between a, almost like a cross between a office and like a pseudo throne room, maybe. Something like, you know, a place where they might stick the king while he's here if he ever visits. So there is kind of a kind of grand seat behind the desk that is currently set up in there. And there seems to be a particularly grumpy-looking dwarf behind the desk. And he's gonna be looking at you guys as you guys are coming in and... Ah! So I'm guessing that these are the ones.
I give him a slight bow, and I say, "Don't court 'em."
I do my bow and say greetings, and say my name also. I'm drawing a blank. And then as I come back up, I make sure that the symbol in my head is just faintly there. And I stare at him with a big grin on my face.
I say, "So is there any way that we can help down here? We're actually here looking for the dragon, but I imagine it'll be hard to find it. So
we haven't had any
way
dragon
that we can help."
here. However, we'd recently gotten word about your friend there.
Which one?
You.
Me? What have I done?
We got word that there was a dwarf who's been traveling around with a forged sigil on his head.
Forged? I'm sorry. The king himself, the dragon, had put it on my forehead.
Well, apparently some dwarf's gone and made a copy of it, and has been using it to take advantage of people and things, to get supplies and whatnot.
That has not been me.
How long has this been going on?
We just got word of it today.
Well, I'll say this much. You point me in the direction of him, and I'll make sure he doesn't do it no more. I do not like my name scattered through the dirt. Because I'm also a steel maul, and steel mauls have honor and respect.
Admittedly, our report didn't come with a name, but so it just so happens that the first day that we get word, you turn up using the sigil.
Was the dwarf traveling with others?
According to the word that I got here in my reports, yes.
What do you know about his companions?
That he has companions multiple. And that they were traveling, and that they had acquired a cart. Or sorry, not a cart. And that they had acquired a wagon.
Well, if you think I stole the wagon, I am sorry. I have bought it, and I have bought all the, and I have bought all of the malt and all the stuff in my trunk, except for a few weapons I pulled off of some of those. What are those creatures called again?
Knolls.
Except for a few items I pulled off some gnolls. If you like my paperwork, I will happily. And with that, I will literally pull out the wad of paper I have just in case of these situations, and I'll offer it to him with all the right and proper, everything. Because my character is just going overdrive of just beyond piss and trying to be polite about it.
I say, what do you know about the person that has been causing these problems? Anything at all that could help us find him?
Oh, but I don't need to have you go find him, because I've found him.
What do you mean you found him?
He walked straight into my fort.
If you're talking about me, you got the wrong person.
Do I?
Yes, you do.
All I have for that is you guys' word.
I got paperwork saying everything I own.
So, what
Not
other
everything
stuff
comes with
was
receipts,
there?
generally.
Was there anything special about that glyph thing, other than just showing it?
It is a magical glyph that was bestowed by your Dragon King. So it's pretty potent magic. To forge such a thing would be a pain in the... and would require a lot of magical oomph.
How about forging multiple of them?
If you could forge one, you could forge more than one, but again, it would be a pain in the butt.
At this point, I allow mine to start glowing. Softly, of course, but still glowing.
Alright, so I'm going to compare some numbers on your guys' sheets.
And I believe Celeste's character would be there too, and she'll probably show hers too.
Okay, so Denault has 2. Corsic has 4.
I have none.
Okay, so Orsic,
Yes.
you are rolling a persuasion check with advantage. Because you're being assisted technically twice. Because Lavir is probably saying something to the effect of, well, this doesn't make any sense. We wouldn't be going around and trying to take advantage of people and take their stuff.
Nat 20. Beat that.
That's not a nat 20. The nat 20 is from wolves. Yours is 10 and 12.
Great. So, some phony is taking my name and shoving it through the dirt.
He said that the report didn't have a name.
No, but the person looks like me and he's blaming me.
He is blaming you.
Even though I have paperwork.
Yeah, you do have paperwork for the wagon, at least.
And the booze.
Yeah, you do also have the debt slip. So, those two things you have papers for, at least.
And I have the tattoo that
we
I can duplicate on my back of my family's crest.
Oh, and he said that the person was using it to get provisions, correct?
Supplies.
Supplies. We don't really have much in the way of, like, supplies other than our personal gear. And the stuff that we've looted off enemies.
True.
I say, do you know what type of supplies the person was taking?
I can't disclose that information.
As those two are talking, I am literally undoing my vest and taking off my shirt.
To show the steel maul tattoo?
Yes. The thing you cannot, the tattoo that my family has that no one else can do, because if it...
It's not something that no one else can do. It's something that is illegal for anyone else to do within the Dwarven Kingdoms. If you went to a human town with a image of the symbol, you could then get it done because they don't know any better.
Exactly, but we're not in a human realm, so...
Yeah, you're in a Dwarven realm.
Exactly.
So. I say, so are you going to give us any way to prove our innocence? Or are you just going to declare us guilty and lock up the servants of the king?
And when he says that, I turn around and point and says, here's also my proof I ain't no damn liar or thief.
There's been steel mauls in the past who have done some pretty shady things. However, if you really want to try to prove your innocence, I can't exactly hold a court case here right now since I don't have any judges. And I can't just hold you for having the mark.
I say, yeah, after all, the only evidence you have is a dwarf has a forged mark, and now two dwarves show up with marks. You don't know if our mark is forged. You can assume, but that's not evidence.
I'm surprised he has not asked about the elf.
The elf's
the
not
guy
there.
doesn't know about the elf.
Yeah, the elf isn't there.
So, you guys will be stuck here for a little bit as I finish gathering up my evidence. Consider yourselves on probation.
So you're about to mention some way for us to work on proving our innocence.
Stay within the fort. And don't do anything particularly shady.
So stay within the fort, don't do anything shady while you may or may not be trying to gather up evidence to convict us. Are you going to possibly send a runner to the king to ask him?
I am going to be sending an owl.
Good. Because if you want, I sure will. Because this is an outrage.
Make sure you include my name.
Civilians are not allowed to send owls from the fort at the moment.
Make sure you include my name specifically. He met with me in private. I made a request of him. He'll remember me.
Well, you'll be stuck here until I get word back from him.
And I'll say this
Fine.
much.
When you get word back, it will be, let them go now.
And
with that, I turn and I walk out the door, since apparently we're prisoners.
And I go, when he does send that and shows in our innocence, I want an apology. And just to let you boys know, the old drunken barrel is going to be open tonight. If you want some actual booze, then trust me, it's not free. And then with that,
And
I
as
turn around
I-
and walk out.
As I hear you say that, I stop and I turn around, face you, and I say, "Curfew. Remember, no one's allowed out after dark."
I sleep in my wagon. What's the difference?
Actually, you'll be given quarters which you'll be staying in at night.
I can't afford that.
The quarters are on us, as is the case with everyone who's here.
But I will say this. If someone does come after me, I feel sorry for whoever tries to put shackles on me. And with that, I turn around and walk out.
And I presume this section is done?
It sounds like pretty much everyone's walking out. Lavir might have something to say, but we can find that out at a later point when Lavir comes in or comes back.
Okay. Back to my part. I walked to the thingy.
The physician's tent.
Physician's tent to see what has been exactly happening around here.
So you go into the tent, and there seems to be a large group of people that are kind of on beds, as well as several people that are kind of sitting in chairs. Looks like they're waiting. And there's 2 guards in there. And they seem to be kind of keeping people from just wandering into where all of the beds are. And there is a single dwarf male who is on the taller side and a little bit thin. Looks like he probably hasn't been eating or sleeping, like, at all. The term skin and bones could be theoretically possible to apply here. He's very gaunt. Like, scary levels of thin, like Peter Cushing near the end.
Oh yeah, I get the point. Other guards, can I please see the physician, please?
You can wait your turn.
Not here because of illness. I came here to ask a question about what has been happening around here. Tap through.
I want to know what's been happening.
Mainly, what marks have been happening on the bodies. May have a theory of what may be going on here. Swear.
What has been going on here is that people have been dying. And that is all that needs to be known by the public at this time.
Well, I would still like to speak with this physician.
Bartholomew, do you have time to talk as you work? Yeah, I have time to talk. Come on in. Just gotta do this and that, and then twist this like so, and then get over here already. I don't have much time.
The physician. I came to ask, have you noticed any strange marks on any of the deceased bodies?
The ones dying from disease, or the ones who've been dying at night with their throat slit?
night. Anything strange?
Other than the lack of blood in their bodies? No. Well, okay, there's the necrotic tissues around the wounds.
Huh. It's not normal for a blade mark or blood draining. They would have to have their blood drained at the exact same time as the wound was made. Blood.
It is very strange, though, that everything has been going on, along with the fact that for the past 2 nights we've seen gnolls in the fort.
Attacks of gnolls. Gnolls usually just ravage the body, but they don't drain the blood.
Yes, and the fact that there have been gnolls inside the fort with the gates still closed shut tight is a very worrisome thing indeed.
You have something else on your hands. But we might be dealing with a vampire of sorts. This type of behavior of night attacks.
Well, if you manage to get permission to walk the halls at night, then perhaps you'll get a chance to see whatever it is that's causing all of these problems. I, however, am not allowed to be walking the halls at night.
Fair enough. Thank you for allowing me to speak with you. You've helped me with my finding out what is happening at night. Maybe if I find out what's happening, I might be able to make the fort a little bit safer. I'm Sage.
And I said it just moments ago what his first name was. And I was trying to get my thing open so I could jot it down, and I don't remember what it was. Bartholomew, that's what it was.
I mean, yeah. Thank you, Bartholomew. I'll leave you to your work. I could save you so much work. And the deceased.
The conditions here are bad. We have a bad case of chlamydia coming around.
Yes. It's a terrible disease.
It really
Hope
is.
you could. This will end soon, because people are looking gloomy every day. Oh. If I ever need you, I hope I could. Exit the tent, go to the hold to see if I could get permission to wander the halls at night.
Okay, so that means you're going to start heading towards the place where everyone else is coming out of. And you'll be able to see Lavir, Orsic, and Denault all being escorted out from the main building of the fort.
And I have one hell of a pissed off look on my face.
He's got like cartoon steam just blowing out from his ears.
Yosemite Sam?
Yeah, that level. He's not saying a whole bunch of words, but he's that level of pissed.
Are you two okay? 3.
I give the death glare and I just keep walking back to my cart.
Okay. I hope this goes better for me. I walk past
We've
them.
been accused of criminal activities.
Shameful.
And in particular
Sure.
of forging the king's mark.
It is bad. Well. Can I go see if I could get permission to wander the halls at night? So I need to put it into one of these causes of death.
I look at Celeste's character and says, "You might want to go with him and see if the rest of us can declare a goddamn." And I just start going off in a mumbling voice of just because I just can't hold in the stress anymore.
I casually walk away, leaving him to his stress. And I walk to the castle. Keep.
Yeah, to the keep. It's a fort keep as opposed to a castle keep.
Alright.
So very different purposes.
Person in charge.
So you go up and you ask to be brought to the commander here. And Lavir actually will go with you. And, we'll take you to him, but he might just turn you back around and say, "We can take you to him, but he might just turn you around and send you back out."
There's nothing. If I could help in any way, I'd be glad to. An elf, but I know when trouble is near. Actually, dark kind of trouble. Wait for the guard to lead me to the commander.
So, they actually do just take you straight on back, because apparently not a lot of people have been actually making this request. Ah! One of them is back, and now with an elf.
Oh, kind sir.
I am not
Believe I've-
kind.
Not trying to offend you. Noble sir. Could you please help me with something I've been trying to find out? Attacks. I'm trying to figure out if I could stop them. But to do that, I'd like to be able to wander the halls at night. If possible.
Denied.
I'm sure I could help, because I may know what could be causing this.
I don't care if you know what the gods are going to be bringing us during the winter. We know that the culprit's skulking around at night. We know how to find it. We've already seen the culprit several times. We just need to catch him.
Because my Lynx companion could be able to track the vampire itself.
This ain't a vampire. Vampires don't teleport. Vampires turn into itty bitty bats or into a mist and fly away.
That is legend, sir.
This is a straight up teleporting assassin.
Assassin, you saying? I'm self. I could track it.
You can track a teleport spell.
Once, apparently.
I don't see no monocle on you, boy. What was that?
Needs a monocle. I have a lynx.
Lynx
And this,
don't track teleport.
First, let me ask him a question. Out of character. First, Adrian, would his character know what the guy meant when he was mentioning a monocle?
Actually, his character probably actually would know the reference. So for this world, all wizards, after they have gotten to a degree past the point of being a mere apprentice, they earn a monocle, which serves as a kind of magical focus. And is in fact the way that they cast their spells.
Yeah. Now, shall we carry on?
Yeah.
Well, I have a lynx. It may not be as fancy or skill-wise or magic-wise, but the lynx does get its job done.
As I said, Lynx can't track teleport.
They can track scent.
Yet that doesn't do you any good if it suddenly disappears from one spot and reappears in another spot.
But if it were to find the scent the first time, it could track it even if it wasn't in harm. If it wasn't being chased, it could still track it. Maybe to even where it's been hiding.
If there's no trail for the scent to be following, there's no trail.
Were they able to pin the monster of a arrow with a special scent?
Again, if there's no trail, there's no trail. And surely you can see the advantage of having more people. I don't want no civilians patrolling my halls.
Does a civilian carry a hunting bow?
Yes.
That keeps windows.
Now I'm going to ask you
Hardly.
politely once to continue on.
He may be able to teleport, but what are your guards doing? If they have not been able to catch him with just the guard's might alone, with possibly no ability to track it, even with smell, what exactly have you been doing? You've been trying to stop it, but have been failing. You've been losing. They be able to stop this culprit and put him to death. You could be seen as a hero.
Try rolling a persuasion check. Just try it. We'll see how your luck pulls through. I'm not going to be shown up by some fancy elf. Now, you're going to be kept to quarters after dark like everyone else.
Very well. I leave. Walk back to the rest.
Okay.
Oh.
So, real quick. Razor, you were headed back to your wagon after that encounter, yes?
Yes.
Okay, and I assume you're going to go to blow off some steam.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna go find myself a rock.
And pound it?
Yes. Not caring who's noticing this. It's sort of me trying to let everyone know I'm not someone you may not want to mess with. Because right now I'm not holding back. I don't care right now. I'm just full on.
Just
beating the
any
shit out of this rock.
stone?
Well, if it's a bolt, if it's not... Okay, I'm going to correct this. If it looks like a random rock sitting around and has no meaning, I'm going to hit it.
Okay, because there's not a lot of rocks around here, as mentioned before. There's the big stone wall, and then there's the foundation of the outer wall, and then there's the walkways.
Is there a tree?
Not inside the fort itself, because that would be a potential risk under a siege condition.
I know. I look around and go, God damn it, knowing that I cannot leave the goddamn premises. I go back to grab my scimitar, and I just start swinging around doing my meditation.
Okay.
I walk up to Metgath, who's probably a little bit more calmer than Razor.
Okay, so, Metgath, what are you doing?
Gath.
Metgath. Donald.
I head back over to the cart and I start playing my flute.
Okay. Oh, that's what your flute check was for. Okay.
Yeah, even if it's not good music, it's still better than no music.
Nothing like music to calm the savage beast.
This fort is way too dreary. It needs some music.
Okay.
That could have went better. I grabbed my flute. Is it a lute or a flute? I forgot.
It's on your sheet.
It is a flute. I grabbed my own flute and I decided to join him in the music.
I'm not sure what I'm playing, but I'm playing something.
Okay. I think you decided on flute because it was easy to carry. Oh, you don't actually have a flute with you. You have the proficiency, but you don't seem to have one with you.
Flute.
You're gonna try to find a place to buy a flute?
Go searching for a new flute.
Okay. Roll a investigation.
Shit.
Okay. Okay, that's what you should have because you gave up a copper piece earlier. So they're going to charge you an amount that is based on stuff here in the book. Based on not the exact same number for those who are going to complain about me getting the number wrong.
Oh,
That's you.
thanks.
Okay, so you'll find a place or a person with a few flutes. They're willing to give one up for 1 gold for like a wooden one, 2 gold for a bone one, or 3 gold for a steel one. And he says it's some kind of special steel.
I check if I have any gold.
You seem to have 30 platinum as well as 9 gold.
Buy the steel one as well as the bone one, just in case the steel one breaks.
Wrong kind of steel. At first I put the kind of steel like the kind of like when you steel something.
thanked the man. I gave him 1 more gold just for good sake and find prosperity. And I walked back to Metgas.
Okay, so that's 6 gold, which leaves you with 3 gold. Whoa, ha 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 ha. Okay. And then you'll start playing the flute.
Reroll.
So 10. Okay, so you guys will be able to get going at least a small little jam. And as far as you guys can tell, it does seem to be helping with the people generally around you. Especially when combined with Vistra's singing. Vistra being Orsik's assistant.
Okay.
Okay, so people seem to actually start gathering around, and Orsik, probably after doing a bit of katas, will have to actually go and tend to his bar. And Orsik, roll me a merchant scales check. Okay, so 15. That one will be 2, so it's going to be... Whoops. That was the top of a dice cube, not a sensor bar. Looked like a sensor bar for my shaking of dice, but it wasn't. Okay, so that's... Because you guys are going to be at this for a while, I'm going to go ahead and make a second roll for this.
You want me to roll again?
I figure there's nothing else for us to do, so...
No, you managed to gain 49 gold pieces over the course of the evening, which is a lot of small drinks.
And my guy's going to wait until the next day to actually start poking around. I figured the day that he decides that we're traitors is the wrong day to start poking around.
Yeah.
So I'm going to wait till the next day to start poking around.
Okay. So things will start getting on into the dark hours, and the guards are going to come up to kind of break things up and to escort everyone to their quarters for the evening.
Go without complaint, knowing that I cannot travel the halls during the night.
At least
I
not
would
legally.
try again, but then I could get kicked out of a hold.
Yeah, and you are kind of lawful. The question is, do you think that the authority is just in this case?
Yes and no. I want to help, but I want to do so and build good karma.
Okay. And I keep forgetting that I added plot points to this. So. So you guys will all be led to your quarters.
Yeah, I don't think I gained any plot points the last 2 sessions.
I don't think I gave you any for last session. I know I gave you some. Okay, I gave you some technically at the beginning of last session for the session before. For the Or I did not give you any for last session. Admittedly, it was mostly just combat.
The last time I used the plot point, I had 9. I dropped it down to 8. That's the only time I've used the plot point. Anyway.
Enter my room. I turn off the lights. With dark vision, I decide to wait in the dark to see if anything enters my room.
Okay, so are you going to be staying up all night?
Till daybreak.
Okay. Who else is staying up?
I'm not going to.
I'm in
Here's the thing. Are we all...
I'm going to sleep, but at the same time on high alert. If I hear something drop, I'm going to jump up.
Are we all in the same room or different rooms?
You guys were fortunate enough to mostly get different rooms. Kalra and Lavir were both put into the same room, but each of you 3 were put into different rooms. And Vistra was put, admittedly, into Orsik's room. Assumptions were made.
Okay.
The night progressed.
I let her have the bed.
Calmly, Indian style, on my bed as my lynx curled on the pillows, or the side of me.
Okay, so. These numbers are not accurate. Okay, I don't know why, but the passive perception seems to be broken. Okay. So Vistra is probably going to be staying up for a good chunk of the night, having a hard time sleeping because of strange environment and just the atmosphere that's been here. Which reminds me, I should...
Shall we wait for the night to progress, or stop?
Is there a chair in the room that we're staying in?
Yes, there is indeed a chair.
I will prop that chair up against the door where it helps lock it beside just the lock. So if the chair drops, it helps make more noise if someone's trying to come in.
The chair would definitely drop because the door opens outward.
Exactly.
Pause here or continue on with the night?
Okay. We have a little bit of time, so... I completely forgot about one of these. And some of my favorite bits. Okay, so you guys are going to be kind of hanging out for the night, and Orsic, you wake up to Vistra, who's going to be kind of shaking you awake.
Okay.
There was some kind of noise.
Where?
Somewhere in the fort. I'm not entirely certain where. It sounded like wood slamming onto stone, and then there was a shriek.
Well, we can't do much, so we go outside this room. Just make sure your dagger's close by. I hate feeling helpless.
Calmly am just meditating in my trance state.
Yeah, what you have to do for...
Are they on either side of me, or how are we placed in rooms?
They do seem to be on either side of you.
I knock on the wall with Metgath's side.
Okay. Yeah. So, real quick for Sage, you indeed hear a kind of a slamming type sound, like a... Only it's supposed to be more like wood on stone. It's hard to imitate without having materials here. And then a...
I look around in the dark. I could clear the surroundings. See if anything has changed.
Nothing in your room has changed.
It's gonna be a long night. Keep aware of my surroundings, seeing if anything or anyone will try to enter the rooms we are in.
Okay, so you're keeping your ears open. And, Metgath, you wake up to a knock on your wall with a...
I walk over to that wall. I'm like, yeah.
It sounds like whatever is happening in the fort is a mist. Keep your eyes and ears open.
Okay, so are you guys trying to yell through the wall?
If they're that thick, yeah.
These are pretty thick walls.
Do we know
Okay.
Morse code?
I don't think this world actually has Morse code.
Did we come up with like a knock of warning?
Not as
If
far
all
as
else fails, I will literally scream at him, keep on your guard.
Alright, so... you're like... So Metgath, you're turning over and you're like, what's up? And then you hear Orsic from the other side of the wall. Keep on your guard!
hear this because
I knock on the wall twice, so that way he knows I heard.
night to progress. Eye out on the surroundings.
Are there any windows in the room?
No. For security purposes. They're keeping everyone in inward rooms.
Okay.
So the night passes. You, Gath, I assume you're going to head back or go back to sleep. Or I assume
Yeah.
Denolt's going to go back to sleep. Is Orsic also going to be going back to sleep?
As if my assistant is awake, yes. If she's sleeping, I'll stay awake until she goes to sleep. So we sort of are going back and forth, taking watch.
Okay.
As the night progressed, as you
Yes, the night is going to progress. Morning will come, and each of you will wake up to a rather solid knock on your doors. Rather simultaneously as well.
Uh-huh.
It's done in the way of shaving a haircut, as I shake my camera.
That's how I knock on doors usually. So, I go up to answer the door. Open it.
I get up and head over to the door also. And yeah, open it. Yes.
Orsic, what are you up to?
I go, who is it? You know, being all cautious of what I heard last night.
My guy doesn't look like he's being cautious, but he's ready to turn into a bear at a moment's notice.
Bear!
Secretly.
Someone draws a sword on me on the other side of the door, I turn into a bear and bite at their face. Anyway.
My head. Oh, wait, I don't have poison. I just have an arrow. Okay, I have one of my daggers in my hand in case.
Okay. So you guys will open up the door, and there will be okay, so for Sage, you'll notice that one of the half-orcs from the gate before is outside your door, dressed in much more heavy armor than he was before. Still with his halberd there, and
I put my dagger back and I greet him as he was a friend. And orc, or strong orc, how are you?
doing good. I say, doing good. Come here, breakfast time! And he's gonna give you like a big old bear hug. In fact, roll a strength saving throw.
Okay, this is gonna hurt.
Okay, sorry, strength or constitution, whichever is higher. There's gonna be a distinctive popping noise coming from your back. Rather like my knuckle just went.
I can't breathe.
We'll get that fixed right up. Develop,
Okay.
in front of your door is a dwarf, a dwarven lady, and hey, it's breakfast time.
I say, give mine to someone that needs it. And I summon up some good berries and I pop one in my mouth. I'm good.
Because you can use those to replace a meal.
Yep. Actually, if I remember right, one good berry gives you all the nutrients you need for a whole day.
Really? That's insane.
Yeah, I'll look it up real quick, but I'm pretty sure.
Oh, and if you still had any damage, you guys probably went and healed it up while you guys were resting and waiting.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see here. Good berry.
Which I'm just going to call an auto heal for right now. Like just a
Yep.
full...
Eating a berry restores 1 hit point, and the berry provides enough nourishment to sustain a creature for 1 day.
Nice.
So, and you can summon up to 10 each casting. So I summon 10 good berries, pop one into my mouth, and say, "I'm good. Want one?" They're good berries.
I'll pass. I prefer to have, some real meat.
Okay, suit yourself.
I was out of the hall trying to readjust my back from being the bear hug.
Yeah. So
And I look down the hall at the elf and I say, "Hey, want a good berry? You won't need to eat anything for the rest of the day."
With my back, and by any chance.
Well, I'm like, I do know medicine. I can take a quick look at that.
I'd shuffle over, clearly trying to keep my back straight.
roll your medicine check.
14.
It's good enough. You basically do the chiropractic thing, and you wedge your fingers in a spot and twist, and then kerpop. And then everything just
A
feels
little
better.
rougher, probably a little rougher than necessary, but it works.
My back doesn't feel like it just got crushed. Oh wait, I did. Anyway, we need to continue on.
I will
And then I hold out my hand. Good berry?
Yeah, thank you.
cautiously open the door.
Right, yeah, so Orsic, what you heard
I hold my
was...
hand. I hold my hand over to him. Good berry?
Okay, so...
Take one and I eat it.
Okay, so he's also eating a good berry. So, Orsic, what you heard after the knock was some kind of, like, popping noise? And then something that sounded like muffled conversation.
Well, I'll cautiously open the door, but ready to strike if I need to.
Oh well.
Alright, so you open up the door, and the third guard who went and knocked on Orsic's door is a kind of tall dwarf who doesn't seem to have a lot of hair. Like he's got a really thin beard. It's kind of short and stubbly.
Half dwarf or something?
Yes, I am indeed half dwarf. And it's at this point when you realize that he's also got like slightly pointed ears.
Oh god. Don't tell me one of your parents is an elf.
Yes, actually.
What's wrong with being an elf?
My character will just be quiet and just look over. Is Denault in the hallway?
Yeah, Denault's in the hallway as well as Sage.
I go, Denault, do you have any of those good berries? I'm kind of hungry.
I say, good berry? As I hold my hand over toward him, smiling.
I'll take 2, so that way my assistant has 1 too.
Okay.
Hey, they're there. He can do it. I don't know how many times a day, but it's free food.
I say, one good berry will sustain you for a whole day.
Yeah. Having a druid on your side does come in handy. And I'll hand 1 to my assistant.
Okay. Denault, I'm going to look at your spells real quick. So Goodberry, I believe, is a first level spell?
Yeah, I have it open a different page. Let's see here. It is, level 1.
Okay. Which means you can cast it 4 times per day.
Yeah.
I don't think you need to, though. Depending on how many berries it makes.
One time gives me 10. The only time I cast it that many times in one day is when I'm going to be spending all the combat shifted, and so I'll pop out a bunch of good berries and pass them out.
Okay.
So does the guard take one or not?
No, the guard did not take one.
Okay. 1, 2,
So you
4. I'll
still
put
have
the other 6 back in my
yeah.
pocket.
Oh, what are we gonna do now?
Okay.
Well, I'm going to get curious and start looking around.
Alright.
And then.
So, you guys start looking around a little bit, and headed towards the area where you guys' quarters is
Lynx.
a familiar dwarf. Okay, familiar to Kalra, actually. I don't think you guys actually met him.
I want to see if my Lynx actually picks up anything unusual, like scents.
Your link seems to be kind of mostly sniffing at your pockets.
Pat him and I hand him a
Something.
something.
I look over at the dwarf that's approaching and I say, "Can we help you?"
Okay, yeah. So something you'll notice is that this particular guard, or this particular dwarf, is a kind of brawny male who is wearing full plate armor with a sigil on it. As well as an engraving into part of the armor, which is the king's sigil.
Look at this mark, and I. Ooh.
Yeah, the mark is
These are-
a hand holding a hammer, I believe.
Okay.
Or no, it's a hammer over shield. That's right. I think. Notes. Did I not put in my notes? I might not have put in my notes.
Anyway, what's he do?
Hey. Familiar like yours. Do you happen by chance to think he is one of the king's men like you? Razor
Who?
or Orsic.
What?
He thinks that this dwarf that has come across you guys is one of the king's men like you. And this new dwarf is going to be like, "Your companions with Kobold, yes?"
If you're talking about the one who likes to stick her tail in the ass and is called Kara, then yes.
Yes, Calvera Blacktail.
Yes.
All right. I'm sure you'd be glad to know that I've cleared up the misunderstanding. Well, I would have been clearing up the misunderstanding with the commander here.
Would have. What happened?
He's dead.
Really? So can we begin investigating now? Do the very thing the king sent us down here to do?
Or are we going to be thrown in jail for doing our job again?
I say, this guy's cleared our names down here. He wasn't part of the problem.
This vampire or assassin thing.
I am Torque Stafford. Or rather, Sergeant Torque Stafford of the Hammer Guard.
Oh, pleased to meet you.
Somebody
I hold out my hand with a good berry. Good berry?
I've already eaten.
And I'll go.
Okay.
I'll stand up proud and mighty and I go, my name is Ozek Steelmaw. And thank God that guy's dead, because even if he did clear my names, I still wanted an apology. But since he's dead, I won't go after one. He did disgrace me yesterday.
He did insult you, yeah. However, he was a good commander for the most part. And he was also the one who was managed to keep this fort in check. I am on my way to you to indeed request further assistance with the incidents here.
Give me 5 minutes. I will literally walk back into my room, strip off my shirt and my shoes, and put my shorts on, grab my monk staff, and walk back out and says, what do you need me to do?
Alright, so Metgath, you had a question?
Yeah, while he's walking away, I say, so how can I help?
We've been unable to catch the thing so far.
Help.
Okay.
Commander denied my privilege to walk the halls last night. And more of this thing than both of him and you combined.
I say, we've already got the permission. We've got the permission now. We have an official request to assist in eliminating the threat.
I'm not you.
I'll walk up and
I say,
hold on, Matt. I'll walk up behind Wolf and I'll lay a hand on his back as high as up I can reach. But as long as you're rolling with us, you do have permission. Until we how should I put this? Until you betray what we consider lawfully good and truthful, you do what we do, and you'll just be just fine.
I say the permission extends to the people traveling with us too. Correct? He's traveling with us now.
All right. I'm fine with that. As long as you're willing to vouch for him.
Can I examine the commander's...
Trust me, if he steps out of line, Orsic here will be the first one to smack him.
I just grin from ear to ear, cracking my knuckles, making sure the iron in my fist shines brightly.
All right. Wolf?
Yes.
Wolf, I think you were trying to say something, but it didn't get caught.
Could I possibly examine the commander's body before it's been examined by the physician. Will not take anything. Need to see the wounds.
Alright, if you want to see that before you eat. Or maybe you had those berries.
He had a berry.
Alright. I'll grab Calra and the other one later.
And is the body still where it was found, or has it been moved yet?
It's been moved.
Can I take a look at where it was found?
It's on the way. I'll drop you off there.
Okay. Thank you.
Alright, you guys will start to walk off to start your proper investigation. And I think that is where we'll have to end it for tonight.
Okay.
A little bit of a cliffhanger with the sounds and the fact that it's confirmed that the people have been dying and the blood drained and necrotic tissues.
I happen to know some part.
There's suspicion of vampires about.
Yeah, I think this is a good place to stop off.
Alright.
And if there's a person standing guard outside the room where I'm dropped off, I'm gonna walk up to him. Good berry. I didn't make the save that we discussed about earlier, so my guy's current obsession is good berries.
Okay. Yeah, Donald's apparently suffering from some chaotic tendencies due to a blow in the head that happened some time back.
Well, that's how Denault is rationalizing it. There's a different reason for it altogether, but as far as Denault's concerned, it's because he kept getting hit on the head really hard.
Yeah.
Like multiple battles in a row.
Yeah. If you go back and watch some of our previous videos, you'll be able to catch all that action. So, do we have any closing comments before I do our outro?
Good berry?
Candy corn?
Stalker!
Warm apple pie.
Alright. Okay, so I guess it's outro time. So, if you like our antics, hit the like button. Please put some comments down below about what you think about what all is going on. What do you think is, in fact, the culprit? What is this assassin that has been mentioned? What is causing this blood loss and necrotic tissue? Put your theories down in the comments down below.
But you leave my candy corn alone.
You offered it!
You did.
I did not know such thing.
Actually, wait.
And also,
He simply
if you
said
think that my
candy corn.
good berries are actually a trap meant to poison people.
If you poisoned me, I'll be very upset.
Alright, so, continuing on with the outro bit. If you want to help support us, please hit the subscribe button. And to keep up on this, hit the nerd alert bell after you've subscribed. You'll be notified as to when each of these goes up. If you want to catch this live, generally we're streaming on Razor's channel and on Raxmo's channel when he's here. I'll put in
And once
both
I
of
have a
those links.
computer again, I'll be streaming too.
Yeah. Yeah, I would be streaming, but I have some issues with my internet. As we saw earlier with the cuts.
It's like you're trying to get it off and you can't because it just doesn't want to stay on.
Yeah. So, till next time, be awesome to each other. Later.
Good
Good
berry.
night, gents. Mean Goodberry will be forever told.
I want to go, Barry.
Good berry. I got candy for it.